This tweet right here says it all. From the official Sonic the Hedgehog account, everything is canon. This has become the most controversial and highly debated topic ever when it comes to Sonic the Hedgehog. And if you love Sonic, subscribe right now. Popular games like Zelda have created their own official timeline of how everything fits together, so I decided to find a crazy way to put Sonic the Hedgehog into a canon timeline. So here are the rules. It can only be Sonic games, TV shows, and movies. As for the comic books, that's its own entire mess. And also an important note that some events I've had to leave out or slightly modify in order to make this timeline work, but this is one possible way that you can make everything Sonic canon. So Sonic starts with two events, first being Sonic 1991, which is the first game and focuses on Sonic meeting Dr. Eggman. However, I would also suggest that the Sonic timelines would start with Sonic's first movie, which occurs at the same time or even supersedes the first Sonic game, because the events are almost the same, focusing on Sonic meeting Dr. Eggman for the first time. Along this timeline, in the Sonic 2 game is where Sonic meets Tails for the first time, and in Sonic 3, he meets Knuckles for the first time. And in the second movie, uses the same exact plot where Sonic meets Tails and then Knuckles, which then leads to Super Sonic beating Dr. Eggman's robots. In the Sonic cinematic universe, the Knuckles spin-off exists between the second and third movie, and there's a prequel comic featuring the Chaotix suggesting that Knuckles knows them, and although not directly related, this suggests that the Knuckles Chaotix spin-off game must be placed after Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic Movie 3 is confirmed to be after the Knuckles show, and for Sonic Adventure 2, it can be directly after Sonic 3 and Knuckles because Dr. Eggman was betrayed by Knuckles, so he wanted to find a new friend, being Shadow the Hedgehog, so that he could take revenge on everybody. At the end of Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow falls to Earth, but at the start of Shadow 2005, he can't remember anything, suggesting that he hit his head really hard, and this leads to the events of Shadow 2005. But for Sonic, things are different. The last scene of Sonic Adventure 2 has Sonic standing on the space colony Ark, and what's not to say that Dr. Eggman had a backup plan, and this leads to Sonic Unleashed because Sonic is already in space ready to fight Dr. Eggman, and following the events of Sonic Unleashed, Sonic then deals with Shadow 2005. Metal Sonic needs to have his entire villain arc somewhere, and his first appearance is in Sonic CD, so he must be before Sonic Heroes because by then he becomes Neo Metal Sonic. So Sonic 4 follows the events of Sonic CD and Sonic 3, so that can then be next. At this point, Metal Sonic is defeated, so we need more lore about the Master Emerald and more character building, so I would put Sonic Adventure 1 next. This is also important for character development of Team Sonic along with Amy and Big, which are important before we can continue on to Sonic Heroes, and once Metal Sonic is rebuilt again, he can continue his villain arc as Neo Metal Sonic in Sonic Heroes. After Sonic Heroes, Shadow is still very relevant, so let's put Sonic 2006 next. I also want to leave the door open for possible future Sonic movies to be canon, so let's put a fourth movie in that spot. And I will also give the change to the ending of Sonic 2006, and rather than resetting the game and story, I would make it so Silver just returns to his timeline in order to keep it canon. Everything up to this point has taken place on Earth, so Sonic X should be next because at the end of the show they return to Sonic's home world of Mobius. Here is also a good place for Sonic Prime because Sonic is still young and inexperienced and he does not think about his actions. And Dr. Eggman's assistant Orbot was introduced in Sonic Unleashed, while Cubot was unleashed in Sonic Colors, and both of them are important to future Dr. Eggman projects, so I would place Sonic Colors here. Sonic Mania is said to be after Sonic 3 and Knuckles and Sonic CD, however due to the time traveling between the past, present, and future in Sonic CD, a portal could be opened and Sonic is sent to Sonic Mania. At the end of Sonic Mania, there was another portal that sends the Phantom Ruby to Sonic Forces, and Classic Sonic is then sent to Sonic Generations. And after Sonic Colors, Modern Sonic is sent to Sonic Generations. After Sonic Generations, the time portal that is supposed to send Classic Sonic back to its timeline instead sends him to Sonic Superstars, and at the same time, Modern Sonic's next adventure after Sonic Generations would be Sonic Lost World because there's simply no other place to put it. Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic would be reunited in Sonic Forces along with the Phantom Ruby, and following the events of the game, Classic Sonic gets sent back to Sonic Mania and then back to Sonic CD before going on to Sonic 4 and becoming Modern Sonic. As for Modern Sonic and Sonic Forces, his next adventure is Sonic Frontiers, and this is because Tails has fixed the tornado again after Sonic Lost World, and Sonic Frontiers has some leftover parts from Sonic Forces, including the Death Egg robot. And Sonic Frontiers has references to many past Sonic games, so it should be near the front. The mentioning of Tangle and Styx suggests that they know both of them, however it is unknown at what timeline they know them from. And lastly, on the main timeline, I would put Sonic Boom TV show and the 3 Sonic Boom games as the most recent on the list because Because their design is different, and with Sonic being taller, I think this occurs well after Sonic Frontiers, and this also gives a lot of room for future Sonic games to be put in between Sonic Frontiers and Sonic Boom. Sonic and the Secret Rings and Sonic and the Black Knight do share some loose affiliation with Sonic 2006 due to the level designs, and the Sonic Advance series should be before Sonic Heroes and Sonic Adventure 1 due to the appearance of Cream. Lastly, the 3 remaining Sonic TV shows, Sonic Rush, Team Sonic Racing, and the IDW comics are so far out of it that they should not be canon. So there you have it, my list of how to make everything Sonic the Hedgehog canon. Some of this is really crazy, but I found it very interesting and found a way to make it work. That's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and remember, you gotta go fast!